Mid-year goals. Hello my bookish lovelies, Kira here, and today I'm going to be talking about my mid-year reading goals check-in. So towards the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I posted a few videos talking about my 2020 goals, the books that I hope to read, not only just books, but the standalone books and the series of books that I hope to read in 2020. So this is kind of a video talking about like where I'm at with everything and just kind of doing a halfway through the year check-in to let you guys know like how I'm doing with my reading goals. So for the year, my goal for the year was 100 books. I am up to 62 at this point for the year, which is pretty good. That means I should have no problem getting to my goal of at least 100 books. Probably will be surpassing it, but that's pretty much like why I always aim for 100 like and not 150, because I never know like what I'm gonna fly through or what I'm not gonna fly through, and honestly like I feel like 150 is just way too stressful. So for me, like 100 tends to be like a really good level for me. I've set it lower in the past and I ended up having to put it back up to 100 because I was surpassing it. So 100 is usually like my go-to reading goal annually. When I posted the video for my standalone books, I had listed 22 different books that I wanted to read. But I'm a mood reader, so sometimes that's a little hard to stick to. The ideal is not always something like that I end up, being able to do. So out of the 22 books that I posted that I wanted to read that were standalones, I've only gotten to 4 of them, which is not a lot at all. I still have time to get to some more of them before the end of the year. I just have to, work on it. Now, I also posted another video talking about the series that I really wanted to get to. And I overall did a total of 9 concrete series like that I really wanted to get to before the end of 2020. So far I've gotten to 3 out of the 9 series that I really wanted to get to. By the time I made this, I think I've gotten to 4 now. But I think a lot of that was me reading the bigger series towards the beginning of the year, the thicker books, so that I could go ahead and get those out of the way, and then I could breeze right through like the books like that are actually smaller for the second half of the year. So there's reasons why I'm so far behind on that one, and I still have time, but that's kind of like where I'm at. Another goal that I had was less pressure, and I was going to put less pressure on myself, and I was going to be playing more video games and watching more movies. Well, I sort of kind of did this. During like the whole outbreak, like especially like when it first started for the pandemic, I started playing Animal Crossing because I have asthma, and so like all the stress and stuff was not doing me any justice. Like I was actually short of breath because I was under so much stress from like everything that was going on like with the pandemic, and like it made me paranoid like because like the pandemic and stuff. And so in order to distract myself, I started playing Animal Crossing, pretty much like almost every other booktuber on this platform. So, Animal Crossing is very mellow, and it's very like hanging out, like going fishing on the video game, and kind of making your house and setting everything up on your island, and it's very relaxing. So I have as far as like watching more movies go, I have watched more movies. It's nice, like every Saturday night, me and my parents, we actually watch movies together, which is very nice to have like that family time. Also, like throughout the week, like I do try to watch like a little bit more before I go to bed, like, and not push myself to read so much like before I go to bed, and actually relax like a little bit before I go to bed. But overall, I'm still reading a ton. I just crave like mental stimulation, but at the same time, like there's never enough hours in the day. So I end up going back and reading because I'm just like, oh, I have a finite amount of time. So I'd rather be reading and spending my time doing that than like watching a movie and feeling like I got nothing accomplished. I can strive to be more relaxed, but when it comes like right down to it, I also strive to feel very productive. That's my lot in life. All right, so another goal that I had for 2020 was doing more reviews, books, TV shows, and movies. I have done no TV shows or movie reviews because I really haven't been focusing on doing movies or TV shows and watching movies or TV shows And I really haven't watched an overwhelming amount like that's actually new. Like I keep rewatching the old stuff, like Avatar: The Last Airbender was recently put on Netflix. And I just, like, that's what I fall asleep to at night now because it's there and it's easily accessible. Instead of watching like new stuff like that I might want to dig into, I end up continuously watching the stuff that I really enjoy, which is not a problem. I mean, it's a comfort thing. Overall, I have done quite a few book reviews, both individual and vlog style. So I'm very proud of that. Like I actually have done quite a bit of that. Like I went back through and I looked at the videos I posted this year, and I've actually done pretty well doing vlogs, and I've actually done pretty well doing individual reviews. So I'm very proud of myself for that. Like I actually did do reasonably well with that, and I'm hoping to continue to strive for that in the second half of the year. Also, another goal that I had was to do like less unboxings, which I have overall. I've also done, I'm not sure like if they're going to be up by this time, but I'm also doing more book tags that I have filmed and more individualized reviews for books. Another goal that I had was more pre-filming. Well, mental health, you know, kind of like really dictates like whether or not you're in the mood to film. And 2020 has been like loaded with utter crap, to put it as gently as I possibly can. So, yeah. I have not done a ton of pre-filming. Actually, like, as you're watching this, I have pre-filmed this. So I actually went through, and this will be the 4th video that I have pre-filmed today. So go me! I am trying. I am trying very hard. During the week, like when I work, I do not have the energy to pre-film. I don't have the energy to pretty much do anything but come home, cook dinner, maybe read a little bit before I am passed out by 8 o'clock at night. Because I wake up about 5 o'clock in the morning and I work a 10-hour day. So, yeah. Also, my last goal was this, because I went through and like rewatched like my goal videos for 2020, was that I was going to be partaking in more self-care in 2020. Oh, once again, 2020 has been utter shit. I mean, I haven't been doing so bad. I mean, I still have some sanity left, so I guess I gotta be doing something right, you know? Oh, I wish, can we like fast forward like 2020 and just like get to 2021 and just hope everything is gonna be better for everything? Because, I don't know about you guys, but like 2020 has been really, really stressful. A lot of important things have also happened during 2020 also. So I can't say like that, you know, every like last like little detail of 2020 has been utter crap, but overall, it's shit. Like, I don't really want to end the video on this note, but that's pretty much like the last of my notes like that I have here as far as, you know, what I have to talk about for my goals. I know that I need to work on focusing more on my standalones for the second half of the year, and getting through like the last few of what I have for my series like that I really want to get to. I need to start one of my bigger series soon, so like that I can make sure that I actually do finish it before the end of the year, because it's one that's been on my TBR for quite a while. I'm hoping like to try to do like starting like in the month of July, like 1 book series per month, because like I'm getting into my shorter book series, like the ones that aren't going to take me as long. So let's hope I do it. I know, I get so tired sometimes, and then I just end up falling asleep. And it feels so nice sometimes just to lay in bed and do nothing. And then, because like I deal like with depression and anxiety, by the time I finally do like roll out of bed, like if I have one of those mornings, I feel like I've been very unproductive. So for me, the earlier I get up and start doing things, the more productive I feel. And that is something that I pretty much live by. So I hope you guys like this video. If you guys like this video, hit the little like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon if you guys want to receive emails every single time I post. I'm on Instagram, Amazon, Twitter, and Goodreads. Those links are linked in the description below. And I will see you guys again very soon.